Hi, I'm Gene McLaughlin. I'd like to welcome you to Old Bridge Outlook with Mayor Owen Henry. This is a show that permits the mayor to talk to you about things taking place in the township and to introduce you to people making things happen in the township. And speaking of that, we have a gentleman with us today from the Old Bridge Police Department, Captain Scott Gumprecht, who's going to talk to you about a very important emergency notification system now being installed in the township. Captain, welcome and thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Gene. Thank you, Mayor.
Mayor, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Gene.
Since
Thank
last
you.
we
Thanks
talked.
for having me again. Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure, Mayor. A lot of things happening, particularly our favorite budget.
There's always something happening in Old Bridge.
How's the budget
Hopefully
going?
more good things than bad things. And this year we're fortunate enough to have a really good budget. I think it's after 7 years of hard work and trying to straighten the things out and get the management team in place. This year's municipal budget has paid off with a zero tax increase to our residents in Old Bridge. And at the same time, we continue to improve our services and be more efficient at what we do. And all the hard work, I think, as I said before, Gene, has really paid off in 19. And it's just, it's the beginning of now, moving forward and trying to do the same thing every year. And in 2019, with the cost of everything and everyone who owns a home and anyone who has a budget to put together, they know the cost of everything has going up. And when you think what we've been able to do with the increases in health care, with the increases in pension and everything that the township has to deal with.
Right.
And to be able to do a flat, no tax increase means we're doing a lot.
That's pretty good,
money.
I would say so, yeah. So people have to be pleased with that.
I would hope so. Look at your tax bill and just see that little bit that comes to your municipality. And it's a reason to be, I think, proud of everyone in Old Bridge should be proud of it.
Okay.
Well, I think everybody played a part in it.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Mayor, I think it's particularly appropriate with Captain Gumprecht here today to talk about some activity in the police department recently. We've had some new hires and some promotions.
Yeah, we've, since I took over, Gene, it was difficult when I first took over 7 years ago. I had the unfortunate duty, I guess that's what you want to call it, but we had to lay police officers off.
Right, I remember.
And I remember that meeting, it seems like yesterday, where I stood up and said, my pledge right now to the police department and to the people of Old Bridge, we will get those positions back and I will grow this department to the ranks of where it needs to be, but we will do it in a fiscally responsible manner and make sure that no other mayor is put in the position I was put in.
Right.
Because it wasn't good.
No, I remember very well when you took office.
In order to maintain public safety, we had, a lot of overtime was incurred, but the department didn't skip a beat. And I think right now we have, and this budget includes 100 sworn officers. That's the most we've had in a very long time. And I'm still not finished. We're going to keep moving forward and try to max out at 104, which is the most allowed by ordinance to get 104 police officers, up to the maximum number by the end of 19 or the beginning of 20.
Okay.
And as you said, Dean, we just put 5 officers on, 5 new officers, 2 are in the academy as we speak. 3 came through the alternate route, so they're already certified. They're just undergoing some training, basic training with our department, getting to know the town, and Captain can elaborate on that a little bit more, what's involved with that. But they're ready to go to work within with a few months' time, as opposed to 6 months in the academy, and another 6 months getting used to what's going on. And we just had 2 very capable officers promoted. Sergeant Snee went to the rank of lieutenant. And Patrolman Contraro went to the rank of sergeant. So we're very happy for them also. As the department gets younger, we need a supervisor, people with experience to pass down, all the positive things that they have to offer in leadership roles.
Okay, well, thank you, Mayor. And Captain, I think this is our cue to go to you. Talk a little bit. Captain Gumprecht is here today, Emergency Notification System. Captain, first, could you give us a little bit of your background time with the police department, what you do now?
Sure. Right now, I'm currently assigned to our professional standards unit. I work up out of police administration. Been with the police department for 25 years. Wow. And during that time, I've been a patrolman, I've been a narcotics detective, been a criminal detective, been a patrol supervisor, a patrol lieutenant, and training officer, as well as a field training officer. I know you're talking about with the new police officers that we have.
Yes, sir.
So one of my duties early on was I trained these new officers when they came to us from the academy and stuff like that. So 25 years at the township, very rewarding career so far. A few more years,
good.
Very challenging position I'm in right now.
Yeah.
But I look forward to that challenge every day, and I'm blessed that Chief Volker has given me that opportunity to keep growing my career.
Okay, well, thank you, Captain. We have been talking about an emergency notification system. One of the things you are in charge of, we've heard a lot about Code Red. What is Code Red?
Code Red is a web-based emergency notification system. What that allows us, the end user, to do is log into our application, take either a pre-made scenario and launch that, so we get that information out to the citizens and the guests and the businesses of Old Bridge that, hey, there's something going on that's going to impact your life. This is what it is. This is what you should do. It's not a big elaborate thing. It's just quick information to let people take action when it's necessary.
Okay, thank you. How is this better than the prior systems, the reverse 911 we were discussing off the air, and the Nixle system? This is an enhancement?
This is absolutely an enhancement. Reverse 911, we got the information from the phone companies, whether it was Verizon, Beltel, or what have you, and whatever landline was registered within the Township of Old Bridge, that information was provided to our dispatch center. And if we had to send out a message, we would send it out to those folks that had registered phones. Not everybody has a landline anymore.
True.
Reverse 911 has pretty much gone by the wayside for the last few years. That's why we brought in one vendor, which was our previous vendor, Nixle. That was an enhancement over Reverse 911.
Yes, sir.
Code Red is an enhancement over Nixle in the sense that it's, for us, the end user, it's way easier, way better to use, easier to use, launch messages quicker. We can launch messages in as easy as 4 steps. It gets out quickly, and that's pretty much what we enjoy about Code Red. That's why it's better. And at the end of the day, Code Red also gave us the capability of getting into something called FEMA IPAWS, FEMA, the federal government emergency response thing. And Code Red requires the residents and businesses to register within town. If you don't register, you won't get our Code Red messages. So we need everybody to register with the town. Go to the website, 3 spots right on the first page of the website.
Yes.
Real simple. You can sign up with your Google account, your Facebook account, Twitter account. You can text OBTownNJ to 99411, and you can get text messages free from there. So we want people to there. And so the big enhancement for us, it's easier. It gives us more information we can send out to our people. And we're able to track who's not getting messages, who's getting messages.
That is versatile, May. You know, you have the hotline now, which is sort of modest compared to this system.
Yeah, and it's so important, Gene, to get the information out to the public. We learned that through Sandy.
Yes,
I don't know if you
we sure
remember
did.
in the studio,
Yes, sir.
talking,
Yes.
you know, coming to you live from Old Bridge.
I remember.
And we saw, I realized the lack of, potential of getting information out there. So the more, this was just another tool in the toolbox to get the information, because it's so important that you have that information in order to impact your life. If you're coming back from the city, you need to know that Route
Yes,
9
sir.
might be closed.
Yes.
And if somebody's picking you up, or you make other arrangements, or you're going to be delayed, or so. So you really need the information to maintain, your activities.
Well, we had that situation the other day with Route 9 closed both ways. I know it because I got caught in it.
Yeah, we had it on a Friday. Very serious tanker truck accident, which closed down 9 southbound for a number of hours.
Yes, sir.
And then on a Monday, unfortunately, we had the road shut down in Old Bridge for a number of hours for police investigation. And again, the traffic and trying to get to the scenes was a nightmare. A nightmare.
Yeah.
So it's important. But a lot of people said they got the text or got the email, and they took the Parkway. They did other things instead of coming up Route 9. They knew about it.
Yeah, they sure did. It was out. As I say, I didn't know about it, and I got caught right in the middle of it, so I can appreciate this new system, believe me. Captain, what, the way the system is designed, is it a one-way system only?
No, this system is set up to where it can allow for us to send out a message and have the residents to respond back. It could be simple as press 1 for I'm okay, 2 I need help.
Okay.
So it's a real good survey and polling system for those people who may need us to respond. So it's definitely a two-way system, and that's one of the other features that we liked about the system is that the ability to have some back and forth. The back and forth isn't like a big long dialogue.
Yes, sir.
It's basically press 1, press 2. And if it's a press 2, I need help, then our dispatch center will follow up with that.
Are these messages that go out, are they live? Are they pre-recorded? Is it a combination of both? How does that work physically?
They're pre-recorded. I mean, it's like when we talk on the phone, we're talking live.
Right.
So what we do is we generate our message, we want to review our message,
Right.
and then we hit the send button to make sure we're sending out accurate information.
So some of it is other than voice.
Correct.
Some of it is other than voice. Okay, is it targeted? Can it be targeted to one specific area where we may have a crisis in town?
Absolutely. Absolutely. If we send out an all-call message, it goes to everybody who's registered with the township. But we also have the ability to pinpoint a street within town,
Really?
a development within town, a whole area within town. So we have the ability to draw, circles around an area, polygons around an area. For example, if we had an incident that happened in Central Park, we can draw a polygon completely around the Central Park area, and that message will go to the residents of Central Park.
That's amazing, Mayor, that this technology is that sophisticated that you can localize it that way.
Yeah.
That it can happen that way. That's pretty good. Definitely reach the target audience. You mentioned that this system, though, is not physically based in Old Bridge per se.
Correct.
This
It's a
system is-
web-based system.
It's a web-based system, so it's not here per se.
Yes.
Okay. And you also mentioned that only select people have access to it, yourself and I think you mentioned Tom Garrity.
OEM Garrity has it. There's about 12 people that actually can launch messages. Myself and Tom Garrity, we have the ability to launch those iPod messages, which are enhanced messages.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
and that's actually, you have to have special training through FEMA, pass their courses, and then be approved by FEMA to actually send
really?
those level messages out.
What have you found to be the most frequent use of the system for? What kind of messages? Traffic, weather,
Mostly
evacuation?
traffic.
Mostly traffic.
Gene.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you, Captain. That's very informative. Folks, we're getting ready to take a break right now. Please stay with us. We're talking with Captain Scott Gumprecht from the Old Bridge Police Department about the emergency notification system, Code Red. We want to tell you more about it when we come back. Please stay with us. Hi, folks. Welcome back to Old Bridge Outlook with Mayor Owen Henry. Today we're talking about a very new emergency notification system that's being implemented here in the township. Our guest is Captain Scott Gumprecht from the Old Bridge Police Department. We're going to pick up, Captain, if I may, where we left off. How are the residents being educated or notified about this? How are they going to be aware of this new system?
What we have on the township website, there's right in front and center, there's at least 3 locations to say Code Red. I believe on the banner, we say that Nixle is no longer our vendor for our emergency notification system. We've gone to Code Red. We've had the Business Alliance, we've had presentations at the Business Alliance. We talked to our people, we've talked to the superintendent, and I guess at some point we're going to put out some information, possibly maybe through tax bills, maybe through the superintendent and the Board of Ed to send home to the parents there. So
Okay.
we're trying to get people involved, and we're hoping we get more word of mouth.
Yes, sir.
People like we talked about earlier about the crash on Route 9 Monday morning.
Yes.
I'm sure people were pretty upset saying, why is traffic stop, why is traffic stop? And one of the things, had they had Code Red, they may have known, oh, I should stay away from Route 9 this morning because we have a bad crash and it's being investigated by the police.
Right. Does this go out to the radio stations in the area too? This
No.
kind of information that there's a crash in certain the local stations to carry that as bulletins?
No, nothing like that. If they sign up, I mean, because everybody's allowed to sign up for it,
Okay.
but they have to sign up, and they can get that information, and they'd be able to get our releases as well, the messages that we put out. You know, it's like the residents in town, they just have to sign up so they get the information.
Okay, Mayor, you, I'm sure, as you know, the leader of the township overseeing everything, you've got to see benefits for the residents in this, right?
Yeah, the residents, and you know, if you want to use that crash Monday as an example, that was right on the borderline of Old Bridge and Marlboro.
Yes, sir.
Now, the people in Marlboro may be where they needed to have an app so that they know coming up Route 9 that as soon as they got into Old Bridge that there was going to be a lot of traffic. So I think it's not only Old Bridge, it's the surrounding communities also need to get on board and alert their residents, because a lot of people come through Old Bridge on a daily
Yes, sir.
basis.
Yeah.
You know, we have thousands of people, you know, get on the bus and come up. So everyone's commute that day was interrupted.
Yeah, and it's got to be in the residents' best interest
Oh, it is, Gene.
to sign up for this.
And you mentioned a little bit about the radios and
Yes, sir.
TV stations. There was misinformation coming out of those stations that morning.
Oh, really?
They were saying that some lanes were getting by, and that was not a fact. No one was getting by that accident scene.
Yeah.
And it was about a half hour before I first saw it reported on any of the news stations or traffic stations. As you recall, it was very windy that day.
Yes, sir.
Very, very windy. So I guess their helicopters were not permitted in the air. So there was no aerial coverage as usually when we have a major incident.
right.
So the information, if you were depending on the mainstream media, was delayed by at least a half hour.
Really?
Or you would have had it within, what, 6:30 something the message went out?
6:37. I think.
6:37.
So the
message,
benefit
the
is
accident,
obvious.
That was half hour. And when all this is going on, it's difficult, you know, I got to get a message out.
Yeah.
We're concerned about that accident scene and the victims, and
Right.
so to get it out within 30 minutes is good.
Yeah, it's an important thing, as we've said. Captain, how do people sign up for Code Red messages? What do they have to do?
The easiest thing to do is go to the township website, click on any one of the Code Red icons. That'll take you to an enrollment page. You can enroll using your Google account, Facebook account, your Twitter account. You can text OB Town NJ to, I believe it's 99411, and you can get text messages. It's that simple. It's that simple. There's no reason not to sign up. Take a minute out of your time.
Right, is there any charge
There's
for
no
signing
charge.
up? There is no charge at all. If they have registered or are registered with the Nixle system, do they have to re-register?
Yes, they do.
They have to replay.
They have to do it. It's two different systems. The Nixle system was proprietary to Nixle. Code Red is proprietary to Code Red.
Okay.
And the systems didn't carry over.
Do they have to register only one time, or must they register multiple devices?
They can register one time, multiple devices. If you're a business owner in town, plus you live in town, you can register your business. You can register your home address, your business phone, your home phone, your cell phone. You can register all those from that one time there. It allows you multiple opportunities to register different devices, different addresses, and phone numbers.
Okay, Mayor, as we mentioned off the air, important for businesses to also chip in on this.
Absolutely, businesses need to know, because at some point in time, the residents are in their stores or out,
Yes,
you know,
sir.
and people who might not have Code Red from out of town are in their facilities.
Yeah.
So if something happens, a gas leak, a pole down, or something where it's dangerous to leave that store, we
Yes.
could send a message out to those businesses. And in fact, I believed on that Friday before, businesses were evacuated because of the fuel spill that was involved. So businesses, stores had to be closed, and people evacuated safely. Obviously, not towards the crash scene, but
Yes.
away from the crash scene. So the business owner, I believe, has a responsibility.
Yeah.
He needs to know what's going on because he's responsible for those people.
Yeah, and he can
once they're
carry
in
the
store.
message out to
if
his
there's a severe
customers.
tornado or something is approaching.
Right.
You know, prepare the people that are in your location.
Okay. Captain, how do people in this day and age of suspicious messaging, how do people get the message and feel that it's legitimate, bona fide, not a spam, not a hoax? How does that work?
It comes three different ways. There's a phone number for the Code Red if we hit an emergency message. That's on the frequently asked questions. That's actually on the township website. So if you got a phone call from 866-419-5000, that's the Code Red emergency thing. So when you subscribe, you should put that phone number as well as 855-969-4555. 4636, which is the general code red messaging. So if you get those phone calls pop up on your phone, because most of us today see a number we don't know, we ignore it.
Yeah, so that's what I'm getting at, yeah.
But if you see these two phone numbers pop up, you say, oh, okay, something's going on in town. I better listen and look to see what's going on here. And also through text messaging, if you get a message from 76993, that's from Code Red as well. So those three numbers, they're legit numbers through Code Red. So if you get something from there, more than likely it's real and it's important.
Okay. Given the importance of this information and the importance of spreading the system, how compliant are residents? How many really care enough to sign up? And how many just pass it by? It's just another one of those things.
Unfortunately, most people just pass it by until they need it.
Right.
I'm sure those people who are sitting in traffic Monday morning for an hour and a half before they finally got their way around would have liked to have known what was going on, because they probably would have liked to turn around and just go home that day.
Yeah.
So they're not as compliant as they should be. Like the
Right.
mayor was saying, businesses, I believe, have an obligation to have that in their store, because if something happens while these folks are in their shop, you know, it's nice to say, hey, listen, something's going on 516, just stay in here.
Right.
And we go from there. So we'd like to see more compliance with it. And again, it's a fairly new system for us, and people are starting to do it slowly.
Yes, sir.
What usually precipitates a faster enrollment is when something really major happens, because everybody wants to know the information. And they'll ask their friends, well, how do you know about that and I don't? So, well, I got it from Code Red through the township. Well, how do I sign up? And that's after a major thing happens, you see enrollment spike. And it's not just here in town, it's throughout the country.
I mean, that was what you just said, Mayor. You know, until something happens, you know, nobody does anything. It's like with your hotline in a way too, right? When things break.
We're gonna an aggressive effort to get this information out. Obviously, at the end of the day, if you don't want to sign up for it, don't.
Right.
But we think it's in your best interest to sign up for it. We have some PSAs coming out. We'll mention at the administrative report moving forward at every council meeting. We'll encourage the council to spread the word.
Yes.
Code Red. In Nixle, we had a little over 12,000. I mean, if we can get 20,000 devices hooked up to Code Red, I believe we're ahead of the game, and I think we get a good message out there, and then word of mouth. You know, if somebody knows, well, I'm signed up, but I'm not. You know, I didn't. You know, call me and let me know.
Yeah, that's how a lot of it happens.
As you
these
said,
days.
some people are afraid
Word
to
of
give their information to anyone.
Right.
We can assure them that this is safe. This information will never be shared with any for-profit scheme or something where nobody's going to be calling you from these numbers except the police department.
Yeah, that was my next question. You anticipated my next question, that it's protected, secure.
Right. And I know a lot of people are a little hesitant on sharing their information.
Yeah, I think you have to be today with all the suspicious stuff going on. Captain, you just mentioned something briefly. This is a national system, so if you're traveling and you have this on your mobile phone, it's available to you anywhere nationally?
Correct. If you sign up, one of the things I didn't mention, you can actually go to Code Red's mobile app through the Apple Store, the Google Play Store. Just download their app, and that'll actually give you national coverage anywhere Code Red is within the country. If that device is on and you have that app on, if you're driving in California and they're using the Code Red, they give you a warning about forest fires or something, a disaster out there.
Yeah.
Even though you may not have registered in California for you registered here in Old Bridge, if you have that mobile app, that device will alert you wherever you're at.
Is this being rolled out, this system, throughout the township, or is it active throughout the township totally right now?
The system is live, 100% live.
100%
it's out
live.
there. We're using it. Again, we're using it mostly for road closures because that's most of it.
Yes, sir.
And listen, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
compared to what we could be using it for. But it's there. It's 100% live. We're expanding on it, as much as we can. We're taking full advantage of the technology because the technology is amazing. We talked about the geofencing.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And targeting. It's just amazing what we can do with this system now.
That is fantastic. Good luck with it. Good
Thanks,
luck
sir.
with it. Before we go, do you have any message you'd like to deliver to the residents?
The biggest thing is just go to the Township website, go to Code Red's mobile app, sign up for it. The information in an emergency is there only to benefit you and to help you and your family in case of a situation that could impact your life.
Okay, Mayor, you have anything you'd like to add? I know
Let the
you're
residents
very
please
active about this.
Take the 1 or 2 minutes it is to sign up for it. I promise you will not be getting silly Code Red messages. I promise you that the information, if you do see Code Red, will be important. to you. I know some towns were sending out messages about anything and everything. This is not what we're going to use Code Red for. This is going to be for really useful information.
Okay, and Captain, one last thing, the residents signing up, if you just want to speak the words, we'll put them up on the screen. They sign up at the website, Code Red Community.
You sign up at the oldbridge.com.
Right.
Go to that first page there. You'll see on the right-hand side there's a Code Red banner. You'll see on the rolling banner there, Code Red to replace Nixle. You can click on there and that'll take you to the FAQs. You'll also see at the bottom of the Township website the 5 most recent messages we put out.
Oh, okay.
So that's available to people too. So they go to the Code Red mobile app and go from there. Again, it can't be any easier. If you got a Google account, register with your Google account. Facebook, Twitter, register with those accounts as well.
Okay, well, Captain Gumprecht, would like to thank you for coming in today. And folks, we've been talking about, as you heard, a very important new system taking place in the township here. I'll get it out. Taking place here in the township, the Code Red system. And Captain, we want to thank you for your presence today, and we want to thank you for your service, your 26 years of service in the police department.
Thank you, Gene.
Stay safe out there.
Thank you.
Continue to do the job. Thank
you
you,
for
and
having
Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good to see you again. And folks, this has been Old Bridge Outlook for this time. I'm Gene McLaughlin. Take care.